arguing with you for real. I'm trying to show love to you. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna come with is love. Let me get Hebrews 13 and 17.
This is the book of Hebrews 13 and 17. Right? Obey them that have the rule over you.
You said what?
Obey them that have the rule over you.
Nah, just go against just all types of shit.
Obey them that have the rule over you.
The brother asked the brother, like, hey, look, can we just do things in order? How is that off? Let me get 1 Corinthians 14 and 40. That's not off. Paul was doing it. Paul literally had dominion over the churches. He wasn't manipulating the churches. He was telling them and giving them order according to the word of the Most High. That's all he was doing. Right, bring this up.
Where is that again?
And submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls.
It said what?
For they watch for your souls.
And it also said submit yourselves. When the brother said, hey, King, we just want to do things in order. Let's just speak one person at a time. Yeah, that's a righteous order. That's not control or manipulation, or you a grown man, you can do what you want.
You're doing the rest of everything, right?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is put on fringe. Why are you tripping at the
Hey, man.
You're doing everything else.
Fringes is, I don't even know how fringes is that hard. But hey, I mean, it is what it is. But the whole basis of it, how y'all doing? Since y'all got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Go talk to your brothers real fast. You know what I'm saying? I might have a sincere spirit out this joint. How y'all doing? I have a question. Right? What's your nationality? Your nationality, like your ethnicity, race. African American, what did you say? African descent. Why you say the same thing you said? You know what I'm saying? Now, real quick, you said something was tough. It's all skin folk, kinfolk. Like, just because people got melanin, like, does that make them family? The reason why I asked that, because aren't East Indians melanated? Aren't Arabs melanated? Right? Like, what people on the face of the earth are the only ones that's, like, without melanin? So what I'm saying, what I'm getting at, right? How come out of all these other nations that I just named you that also have melanin, I think we're the only ones within that subgroup that don't know that actual culture and that actual heritage and that actual nationality. You know what I'm saying? East Indians, they have like Pakistani and things like that. They have their languages, their culture, and all that. But then you go to the so-called African American, what's our language? What's our culture? We can fly over to, you know what I'm saying? What was I talking about? The Philippines and stuff like that. We can go over to Saudi Arabia and all that. They have their culture. They got their melanin too. But where's ours? You fly back over here. Where's ours at? Like, it's crazy. Is our culture like just jazz and hip hop, R&B, trap music, block parties? Is fried chicken and watermelon our heritage? Is that what makes you black? That's what people be saying online. I gotta take away your black card if you don't like watermelon. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, who gave us a black card that somebody could just vote? That's crazy. Yeah, you like remember than me. And who has rule over them? Nah, you took it away prematurely. They still got a little black. That's crazy. We don't never hear about that. However, we're here to show our people, right? Y'all believe in the Bible? That's the first question. If y'all don't, there ain't even no problem with that. We can get there. Right? It's a stepping stone. Y'all say y'all believe in the Bible. Now, did y'all know? Let me get Sarah, chapter 17 and 11. Did y'all know the Bible is actually like actual history? All right. Now, did you know it was a culture that was within the Bible? There was a culture in it. It wasn't just sunshines, rainbows. Flood came, everybody came back, and it's just kumbaya. It's things that happen in here, wars that happen in here, captivity, slavery that's happening here, right? Prophecies, kingdoms destroyed. Christ came on the. I think just because Christ came, things still wasn't happening. It was still happening. He had to prophesy that Jerusalem about to get destroyed again, right? Things continue to happen. We're still in biblical times, literally, right? Bring this up.
This is the book of Sirach 17 and 11. Right. Beside this, he gave them knowledge.
He is talking about the Most High God. He gave a people knowledge. Go ahead.
And the law of life.
And what?
And the law of life.
And the law of life for what?
For inheritance.
What?
For inheritance.
For inheritance. So he gave a certain people a heritage. And y'all know what a heritage is, right? Oh, things that come with you, a culture, all that. So we're gonna identify real quick. Let me get. Oh, you got
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself.
So he said thou, so it's talking about you. This is old English. So you, even yourself,
shall discontinue from thine heritage.
So a certain people, they're gonna discontinue from their heritage. Meaning what? You know what discontinue is? You know what I'm saying? You got your favorite lip line and all that, they discontinue it. You see that, you ain't seen it no more, right? Same thing. You shall be discontinued from your heritage. So a certain people is gonna stop following their heritage. Alright, let's keep going.
That I gave thee.
That he gave you. We read that over here. That the Most High gave a certain people a heritage. But here he said certain people that I gave that heritage, they're gonna leave it. But
and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Serve who?
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Now, that sounds crazy. He said, you're going to serve your enemies in a land that you knew not. So a certain people is going to have to go into slavery in a foreign land. All right, that's one. Well, that was technically two. But that's like one of the major ones I wanted. That's one. Read that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Now, do you know who he's talking to in this verse? Right. Do you know what the people were called? It's a specific Jews. That's the blanket, or that's like I would say that's 3 tribes.
Yeah, that's all Jews.
But the 9 other ones, including the 3, they're called Israelites. So all of them are called Israelites, but 3 tribes are specifically called Jews. Just like, you got different departments in like, I don't know, like police force and all that. Like, you got your regular deputies and you got like the sheriff and all that. But he's still a police officer. He's just different rank or just called by a different name. Now, this is talking about the Israelites.
That's
He said, shall bring you into Egypt again. You know what they were doing in Egypt? They was in slavery. So that's just slang, right? If I say, I'm about to go to the crib, like, you know what I'm talking about. But what is the actual crib? Right. Right, that's Urban Dictionary. Now, what about like Merriam-Webster? Like, what is the actual crib? Like a baby crib? Yeah, little carriage and all that. Yeah. Now, are we going back to that? Like, you visualizing me going back to some little baby doll with my thumb? No, you're not visualizing. You think like, yeah, you gotta go to his crib wherever he at, his house, like you said. That's what it's the same vocabulary, right? So he said, I'm gonna bring you back into Egypt again. He was saying, I'm gonna bring you back into captivity. Now, keep going.
Again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, how did they leave Egypt? Nah, as in like on foot. So he said, but this time you're gonna go back into Egypt on ships. Who went into captivity on ships? Now, because he said a certain people would discontinue from their heritage, right? And said that they will serve their enemies in a land that they know is not. Here, it says you're going to be sold into Egypt or captivity again with ships. So, take it to a foreign land on ships. Who did that happen to? Oh, this is facts. Now, but it's more. It don't just stop there. Right? Keep going.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Right?
Thou shalt see no more again.
Now, go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold.
It says, and there, so after that, you're going to be sold. Then that happened in actual American history and all types of history that you read about, right? Did that happen to like what I'm about to call it? I'm about to call them something. I forgot.
Native Americans? Black? It's been.
I was gonna say, well, I forgot what I was gonna say. But did it happen to I would say the opposing pigment? No, it didn't happen to like the palm color. Yeah. I call it something else. Something crazy. I ain't gonna say. But like that didn't happen to them. Yeah,
European Americans.
Did it happen to the Chinese or to the
Arabs?
Arabs. The East Indians, they got melanin. Was it because they were black? No, because you know what I'm saying? It can't be all because they were black. No, every other nation has melanin outside of our people. So like that can't be a good excuse because they didn't do that to them. It wasn't just a whole mixing pot out there in the slave field. Got your East Indian over there, he just getting the cotton, he dish it off to the Arab catch it, they throw it in the bag, and they didn't even know Arab basketball player. I was going to try to name it, they didn't even know what. I was saying, like, that's not what happened. That's our people. Keep going.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Right?
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies
Right?
for bondmen
Slave men.
and bondwomen,
Slave women.
and no man shall buy you.
And that's
No
talking about
rescue.
redeem. Nobody would redeem us out of our captivity. Aren't we still like in the land of our captivity? Did anybody save us yet? They try to say, "Oh, we freed the slave." Freed the slave to put them in fight. Because even in the Constitution, it still says that like you're still a slave
13th
once you
Amendment,
yeah,
14th
you're a slave once you break the law. That's why in the jail and all that they got them working for like 13 cents.
And our social
An hour.
security number.
Yeah, they got it all. Right now, who does that sound like he's talking about? Right. And who does that sound like in today's song? It sounds like us and what our people went through. Now that's just one aspect. Like I said, that was verse 68. So just imagine verse 1. Well, all that's talking about 1 to 68. There's a lot of them. Now, we show our people through history, biblical prophecies, that more than likely our people, like you said, African American, that they're more than likely from the tribe of Judah. Right? Now, there's something significant about that tribe. Right? Do y'all know what the significance of that tribe is? We get Revelation 5 and 5. Let me get Revelation 1 and 14. I'm gonna show you something because that ain't nothing light. It's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm a Judah. Judah. Ah, you gotta know about
Judah.
this one in particular. So you got some fire kings out, right? But you have a top king.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 5. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah,
Right?
the root of David.
The root of David. Do you know who the Bible depicts as being the root of David? You said Jesus, right? Yeah. Now he said the root of David is also known as the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So Christ came from what tribe? I said it. Exactly, Judah. He came from the seed line of David. So he said the Lion from the tribe of Judah. It's talking about Christ. Now what did Christ look like? He said basically us. Basically or literally. We're gonna show it. He said basically.
This is the book of Revelation 1 and 14.
Right?
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Alright, so he said white woolly hair. Now, real quick, when you see him, is his hair ever woolly? Is it ever white? Nah. Every time you see this bull, he got like a dirty blonde. They waited for me specifically. They waited specifically for me. They didn't want this part to come out, which is crazy. They wasn't out here all day. But they wanted to wait till I was over. Like, and that was an unusually long red light.
Hey, look, he trying to hear what Christ looked like as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had to get that up, yo, because, like, that light was dumb long for no reason. It ain't never been that long. It wanted to be long when I'm up there. That's crazy. But, we're going to read that again. You got it, Revelation. You got it.
This is the book of Revelation 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Now, real quick, I just asked her the same thing. Every time you see this boy right here, right? Does he ever have woolly hair? Is it ever white? This man, he goes to the salon, get little highlights and all that. You know what I'm saying? This man is like a dirty blonde. Sometimes he's a brunette. Like, they don't even know. They don't even know. They don't know. Let me get 1 John 5 and 10. They don't even know what he looked like because they keep changing up his hair color. I gotta change up his hair color if y'all know what he look like. Right? It's crazy. Keep going.
as white as snow,
Right?
and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Now, what color is fire? It's red. Like red eyes. Also, it was prophesied that we have red eyes in Genesis. It's already prophesied. Now, keep it stacked. Does this man ever have red eyes? They're always ocean crystal blue. Sometimes they're hazel. Sometimes they change in the sunlight. Like sometimes they're green. Why your eyes changing all the time? They change with the seasons.
Right.
This man ain't never got one eye color. But everybody swear up and down, they know what he look like. It's crazy. Right? Because you can't how you gonna go with somebody? Say like you got a Jesus piece and he got but for some reason it's in color. You got like blue eyes, I got green. You can't get on because what you gonna say? I just got him when he was in a different season. No, this man, he already missed 2 marks already. Keep going.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Now, your feet is going to be the color of the rest of your body, for the most part. Sometimes there's different, not even shades. Like sometimes there's different things, that may happen, such as leprosy and things. But for the most part, your feet is going to be the same color as the rest of your body. You know what I'm saying? Not 3 different shades going all the way. It's kind of crazy. Ain't nobody up here mixing with no tricolor pit bull. Like, I'm not going to see that. Read this out.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace.
So it said, fine brass. What color is brass with a B? Brown. It said, as if it burned in a furnace.
Right.
So now what color is that? Dark, right? Now this bull, you know what I'm saying? This male monkey right here. Yeah, in fact. Yeah, you feel me? Like, what's going on with this? Like, why bro show him like this when the Bible says something clear? And people like to use this trend to be like, oh, it don't matter what he look like. We gonna see. Bring this up. If it don't matter what Christ looks like, as long as you worship Christ, you gotta know who you worshiping. You can't just be sitting there just blindly worshiping. Not even blindly worshiping. You're saying it don't matter what you look like, what he looks like, but once you start saying and trying to, praise, the Most High and His Son, you think of this image. That image pops up into your head. That's still the construct of white supremacy. It is. Right? Bring this up.
This is the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 10. He that believeth on the Son of God.
So, who's the Son of God? Right, Christ. He's the Son of God. Y'all agree that Christ is the Son of God? I saw them in the back, people. Y'all agree that Christ is the Son of God? You say you don't believe that? That's all good. That's all good. That's all good.
He that believeth.
Oh, that was you. All right, bet.
He that believeth on the Son of God.
So if you believe on the Son of God, go ahead.
Have the witness in himself.
So you're going to have to witness in you. Why?
He that believeth not Yahweh has made him a liar.
So if you don't believe in the Most High God, it makes you a liar, and he's going to tell you what makes you a liar, not believing on him. Right?
Because he believeth not the record that God gave of his Son.
Because if you don't believe in the record that God gave of his Son, you can't say that you love the Most High. Because the Most High put in the Bible the description of Christ. He put in the Bible even the description of Moses, and even the description of Simeon in Acts 13, Solomon, right? He actually gave you descriptions of people with melanin in the Bible that were Israelites in the Bible. So if you don't agree with the account from Christ and you saying that Christ can look like anything, that love of the Father can't be in you because you didn't believe the record that Christ gave of his Son.
Right.
You understand? So that's why it's so important, because that really came from white supremacy. The aspect of pushing, you got to follow him or, yeah, you got to die. You got to be put to death. It's killing people based off of this. Right? That's why, what's it called? That's why when Columbus came over and all that, they were still preaching the same thing. They was pushing the exact same thing. And that's how they slaughter all the so-called Hispanics, right? And Native Americans and things of that nature. So what we were showing them, and I'm gonna show you as well real quick, you probably call yourself a so-called African American, black man, etc., right? We show our people through the Bible that more than likely the so-called African American man comes from the tribe of Judah. We read that verse about Christ because Christ also comes from the tribe of Judah. So he came from the tribe of Judah, and his mother birthed him. Father had him. He has a brother named James, and all the other Jews in the area. What color would they be? If Christ was a Jew, matching that description, what would they? What did they look like? Right. So it's like, where did the lie start, and when is it going to end when it comes to our people? Our people got to know these things, right? We just showed them the aspect of the slave ships in the Bible, because slavery and the slave ships is actually documented in the Bible. They said it was going to happen to God's chosen people. Did y'all know that God had a chosen people? That's another thing. They teach what? What do they say? God loves everybody, right? Now, did y'all know that even in the New Testament, God never taught that? That he loved everybody? It's in the New Testament. Go to Romans chapter 9. And through the mouth of Paul, right? Did you get a flyer? Oh, Bo got you a flyer. Bring this up.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4.
I'm at 13.
9 and 13. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 13. As it is written.
It says it is written. Why is it written? Because he said it before. All right, go ahead.
Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated.
It said what?
But Esau have I hated.
So God literally expressed in two places. Because when he said, as it is written, that's in Malachi. Yep. So he said, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So God actually did have a hatred towards the actual people. People say, oh, he hates the sin. No, he actually had a hatred to a people. Go ahead.
Verse 14, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Because if it was really talking about just the spirit or the sin, why would they be questioning, is there unrighteousness with God? They're questioning that because he's talking about an actual people. Right? Go ahead.
God forbid.
God forbid what?
For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
Right?
And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
So he's saying, I will do what I want. I will have mercy on who I have mercy, and I have compassion on who I have compassion with. He was never he was never all nation loving, all race loving God. Case in point, with actually go to Deuteronomy 13 and 8. We're gonna make it point, case in point. Let me get Zephaniah 2 and 12. We'll make it case in point. God has a choice. Actually, let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6 first.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13 and verse 8.
32 in there. Alright. You go hold that.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Right? In Deuteronomy, he was talking to who? Us, right? The Israelites. There you go.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Now keep going.
Above all people.
No, equal.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
And that's biblical. Nobody talks about that. Nobody reads about that. That's not studied about. Why is that in there? They say, oh, things changed in the New Testament, but we know that God is not a liar. And on top of that, he does not change. He's not as man is. Right? It even tells you that in the book of Malachi. But bring this out.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 8. Right? When the Most High divided the nation.
He said what?
When the Most High divided the nation.
So he literally divided the nation. If he wanted everybody to be, oh, y'all together, I love everybody, kissing on everybody. If he wanted to do that, he would have did it. But he literally said he divided the nations. Go ahead.
When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. Right? When he separated the sons of Adam.
He did what?
When he separated the sons of Adam.
Think about it. He always had a chosen. Right? With Abraham's two kids were who? Ishmael and Isaac. Did he choose Ishmael? He chose Isaac. Now, Isaac had two sons, Jacob and Esau. Did he choose Esau? He chose Jacob. So the concept of the Most High choosing was always a thing. With Noah, was Noah the only person out there? He chose Noah. Like, was Abraham the only person out there? He chose Abraham. He always had a chosen. That's why when you read throughout the Bible, it would say the fathers of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why ain't he talking about nobody else? Right. All the people that was out there, he ain't talking about nobody else. Right? Hold that real quick. Keep going.
He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
Like, no, keep going. I ain't gonna hold it.
Verse 9. For the Lord's portion is his people.
What?
For the Lord's portion is his people.
So the Lord said, all right, look, everybody, look, hold on. What the others doing that? Turn this one. Bubble shut. Now, look, I know they don't really do this and all that because that's kind of crazy. But say you got 18 pieces of this pie. You feel me? Walk with me. You got 18 pieces of the pie. Israel is one of them. And then you got the so-called white man, Edom, Asher, all these other nations, right? Because there's 18 nations when you actually look into the Bible. You got 18. Now, verse 9, he said, the Lord's portion is his people. Now, who are his people? The Israelites, right? So he said the Lord's portion is his people. So, like, everybody can get their little piece of the pie. But, hey, you got to save my portion. That's mine right there. So the Most High God said, okay, these he created, but his portion that he's taking from the bunch that, because, you know what I'm saying, you make the cake, say you make the cake. You got your little portions and all that, but most people, when they make a little cake, you know, they put a little pizzazz on one side of the cake. They're like, yeah, I want that one right there. Hey, nobody touch that. I'm dead serious. They're like, yeah, let me buy a piece, let me buy a pie. And I see a nice little chunky, nice little piece. I ain't gonna hold. Now, if somebody point out and wanted it, I might take the humble route. But initially, I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's my joint right there. It's coming with me. The Lord did the exact same thing. He said, look, that right there, I'm gonna need that. Right? So now, is there unrighteousness with God for doing this? He do what he wants. You can't go to the creator like, oh, why did you do it? Yeah. Curse thee for making me you're crazy. So I'm gonna just show you three more, and that's it, right? So now, being that what you want as far as who we are as the people, Israelites. God's chosen people according to the Bible. Now the aspect of our culture, right? Because yeah, you would know, you know what I'm saying? But like culture is another thing. If you have the so-called Chinese man, he only been in America all his life, he don't know nothing about China and all that. Somebody bring to him and was like, yo, bro, you really Chinese. You know what I'm saying? You're not really American, you're Chinese in America. So look, boom. Y'all got the Komodos and all that, with the long garments. Y'all got the Shaolin monks, you know what I'm saying? The Shaolin monks. You got the Tai Chi and all that. Like, yo, that's yours. You know what I'm saying? The samurais. That's yours. They gonna be like, damn, okay, and they gonna look into it and be like, all right, bet. I mean, I didn't know this was our culture. I didn't know this was our custom. So if you had a chance to look into yourself, right? Being God's chosen people and all that, but finding out your culture, would that be something that you'll look at and be like, I could consider that? Shit, I'm definitely looking into it. Hey, all praise. Let me get Jeremiah 6 and 2. I'm gonna show you, that's fire. She said, hey, that's me. I'm trying to get in there. Actually, you can get it real quick. Let me get
This is the book of Jeremiah 6 and 2.
right?
I have likened the daughter of Zion,
Right? So he likened the daughter of Zion, go ahead,
to a comely and delicate woman.
as a comely and delicate woman. That's one aspect of the culture when it came to our women. They were comely and delicate, beautiful and delicate, right? Delicate ain't being all rambunctious, yelling out that she a city girl and she driving the boat and like all types of stuff, and then singing "Sexy Red" down the block. That's not a delicate woman. That's a manly. That's kind of manly. Right? She over here, she got the Don Julio, and she over here just down it. Yeah, put it on top of the head. That's crazy. She over here come to you, tap the bottom. Oh, that's crazy. But it said our women were comely and delicate, right? Because beauty, it really starts with them. Beauty really starts with them. You have a lot of women that feel, or not even feel, but they look beautiful on the outside, but they don't feel beautiful within themselves. So does beauty actually start on the outside? Of course not. That's a cover up. Actual beauty actually starts on the inside. The Bible teaches that. I'm gonna show you. Psalms 119 and 59.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 59. I thought on my ways,
Right?
and turned my feet unto thy testimony.
So right now, you thought on your way, you was like, yo, this is that. I'm actually trying to figure out this culture. And you turned your feet towards his testimony. That's all praise to the Most High, right?
Yeah, see, they about verse 6. I made haste.
Said what?
I made haste.
So some are able to jump up and start running with it. We're gonna see, go ahead.
And delayed not to keep thy commandments.
And to keep his commandments, because the commandments were actual, like you said, the law of life. The commandments, that was our heritage. Right? You wouldn't go over to China and be like, yo, stop eating. I ain't coming. I'm coming out. You ain't gonna go over to China and be like, yo, stop eating bats and all that. You're not gonna do that. That's what they do. That's their culture. You know? Now, with that being said, what you order? Let me get Deuteronomy 14 and 8 and then get 1 Timothy 2 and 9 for the sister. I ain't gonna hold it too much. Yeah, 1 Timothy 2 and 9. Because she been attentive. 14 and 8?
Yeah. This is the book of Deuteronomy 14 and 8. And the swine, because it divided.
Now it says swine. You know what swine is? Alright. So swine is actually, look. I ain't show you nothing. You see it? What's swine? No. Right there. The bottom right. You have it in bank. Alright. So what's swine? Right, alright, bet. Yeah. Hey, she got that on her own, man. I'm praise the Most High. So he said swine, right? That's the pig. He said what?
And the swine, because it divided the hoof,
Right.
yet sheweth not the cud,
Right.
it is unclean unto you.
Right.
Ye shall not eat of their flesh,
Right.
nor touch their dead carcass.
So he said, now that's royalty right there. He said, I only want you to touch their dead body. Let it rot. Let it sit there. Don't touch it. That's the Lord giving a commandment to his people. Now, you ate pork before? Where you from? You from out here? Where you from? Tennessee?
Oh.
Yeah, y'all eat all that too. Y'all eat all that too. Who?
What?
A
What is that?
Tennessean?
What is that?
You probably was on the board in that, hey, y'all, what's that, Bahada? Bahada? What the heck is that? Bahada? There you go. You was over there? Oh, all right. Yeah, too low. Yeah, you know, hey, where you at? See what I'm talking about? A Tennessean. What the heck is that? Hey, so you a Tennessean? Nah, you a Tennessean. Who?
Tupelo.
Tupelo. Some of the weird behind these.
Where's
So
Tupelo?
both of y'all are Tennesseans, I'm just saying. That's
Yeah, I
your
didn't know it.
nickname,
Never
man.
heard of it.
You're Tennesseans. It's like that.
Where's Tupelo?
Tupelo, Mississippi in the building.
Look, see that?
Where's
Hey,
Tupelo?
man, hey.
That's
But you ate pork before and all that, right? Now, the Most High God said that was unclean to us as being his portion. Now, that's something that you can stop doing.
Yeah, I actually can.
Oh, you see? She said, hey, now you know what you can eat? You ever had lamb?
Oh, it's good.
Hey, you say you have? Like goat? You had goat?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay, all right.
I didn't know I had it, but I had it.
Oxtail. Oxtail. Yeah, oxtail.
I've never had oxtail, but I do want to try it.
Hey, put on to the spot, man. What's that joint called? What's that joint called? Ironman. If they see it, they got a sponsor. I'm joking. Definitely joking. But Ironman, it's a Jamaican spot out here. We've tried it. Hey, they drove fire. Hey, tell the Bruce sent you. That's crazy. But hey, man. No, hurry up. Damn. What I say earlier? They waiting for me. They ain't doing it for nobody else. It's just an observation. But, alright, you can still hit me a little bit. So, you said that's something you can do. But you got beef, right? So, if you feeling a little fancy, and look, if you feeling a little fancy, watch that line. You can go get you some Wagyu beef. You know what I mean? Some Wagyu beef. Yeah, that's that. Hey, sip some wine with that Wagyu beef, make you feel like exquisite. You start using words like exquisite, extraordinary. Nah, for real though. like you got beef from all types of sorts and all that. But like we said, you got the shoe. Deer. You probably had deer, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had deer.
Good.
Hey,
I love deer.
Look, hey, I love deer
Deer.
jerky. You know, had
Deer jerky.
Yeah, she done had that deer
Hey,
jerky,
look,
boy.
so look, that's a mission. You gotta try oxtail, and I'm gonna try to find somewhere to get deer, cause I ain't never had that before.
Oh, come on.
In the woods.
In the woods.
Man, love
So
deer.
that's the real. So
That's
look,
me.
hey, oxtail,
That's my favorite.
we out here every
deer.
Saturday. Look, but we ain't gonna be out here next Saturday. But the Saturday after, we should be there.
Why we not gonna be here next Saturday?
But, but with that being said, right? Lord willing, we'll be out here the next week. You come up here next week or even the week after and be like, hey, I had some oxtail. We're gonna ask you like 1 out of 10, how was it? We're gonna ask like 1 out of 10, give it 1 out of 10 if it was fire. And Lord willing, I'll be able to come to you like, yo, that deer jerky was trash.
Good,
No,
good.
I'm joking. That was good. It was probably fire. I like beef jerky. So deer jerky, I'm hoping it ain't.
Deer jerky is 10 times better. I'm not gonna lie.
It's 10 times better? Ooh, all right, bet. I got another for you. We had beef bacon. Ooh. Nah, it ain't no problem.
Mama could
If you had it, you know you had it. I'm just keeping it a step. It ain't turkey bacon. You're not gonna put it in the same bracket. It's a whole different joint right there. Yeah. So you got that. Now keep going. There's more on that, right? We talked about the swine. Now go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 14 and 9.
Right.
These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters.
Now it's going into sea animals. Right. Go ahead.
All,
You smirked a little bit. We're gonna see.
all that have fins and scales shall ye eat.
So everything in the waters that has fins and scales. Like what?
Is it bats?
Okay. She didn't say what everybody else said. Everybody be like fish. She said bass. I didn't.
Yeah, it's a fish.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did get bass. So we had bass. I almost said that we did.
Yeah,
We did
that's
have
good.
bass. Right? Yeah, mighty. Right? Right?
Carp,
Anyways, carp. So I'm turning this way.
Perch.
I'm not talking to you.
perch.
Hey, what's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Y'all like this red snapper?
Yeah,
Right?
perch, good.
Red snapper, you ever had that? Actually,
No, I haven't had a
Sturgeon.
So shit, sorry.
I think I've only had perches and bats.
Perch? And
come
perch is
on.
a bass. And you're supposed to be a Tennessean. I'm joking.
What?
I
That's
ain't
water
coming.
valley.
Is it what?
That's water territory.
Yeah, you know
All
what
the
I'm saying?
fish.
Hey, they don't got the Mississippi River.
Come on, this is
Mississippi
Tennessee.
River, go through, you know what I'm saying?
I would go with my dad. He
Oh,
would
all
take
right,
me
okay.
fishing. That's all he would catch.
But now keep going on this. You named a good one. You got trout.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
And this verse 10. And whatsoever hath no fins and scales, ye may not eat.
Right.
It is unclean unto you.
Now, he said, whatever don't have fins and scales. Like what? Catfish?
Oh.
No. Nobody hits that first. Hey, sir.
Is it tilapia? Or-
Nah, they have
They have
fins and scales.
fins?
Yeah.
Okay.
But certain tunas actually don't. Certain tunas. But what other sea creatures don't have fins and scales? They got different subcategories of them. Octopus, that's one. Octopus is one. Now, hey, look, real quick. You always see it in the little mukbangs and all that. The mukbangs and the what's the other joint? The ASMR. They got the don't say it.
I wasn't about to say it.
Good. They got the big one. You know what I'm saying?
Is it crab?
There you go.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to eat crab legs?
Hey,
Ooh,
hey,
oh my
hey,
God.
hey.
That's the only seafood I enjoy.
See that?
But that's okay, because I'm not addicted to them, so I can cut them out.
Hey,
That's
see,
great.
oh, praises, man.
Oh, praise.
Hey, since I can cut them out, hey, it's too tight. Too tight, bro. Right? Hey, see the Matthew 4 that, hey,
Oh,
hear it,
praise.
Lord willing, and rejoice, and Lord willing, continue.
Mhm.
It could be that case. That also includes, say crabs,
I did say crabs. Is it, wait, is it
shrimp, that's another one.
Oh, they can
I say, yeah, that's out. Yeah, that's out.
Uh,
All right.
I know, I've seen seahorses be eaten too. No.
You see seahorses?
I've seen that before too. Yes, I have.
That probably
I have.
crunchy.
I have. You would be surprised what people eat.
I ain't even gonna repeat what you said.
You got squid too.
All right. Now what about lobster?
Calamari.
Oh yeah, lobster. Oh yeah, and crawfish.
Crawfish.
I
Right.
like those.
Hey.
Lobster. Don't do that.
All right. So crab, that's the only job for it.
I can cut it out.
Yeah, you can cut it out.
I don't eat it all the time.
Hey, but now look, you doing that for us? Exactly, and for what else? For the Lord. Yeah, fact. That's a fact. So we just up here. We just messengers. We just passing the message along. You know what I'm saying? We ain't nobody important at all. I'm like the least of the least. I ain't nothing. The most I, hey, yeah. That's it. Now, I said I was gonna show you one last thing.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9.
Now, a lot of times they hear this, and we see, hey, through the spirit, we see a dang sister. She probably peaked like 15 miles an hour running speed, like 15. I thought she was Usain out this door, up the block when we read this. She started booking, like yo, I gotta go. Started running. You know what I'm saying? Almost tripped over something over there. She hopped over. She did a hurdle. She was getting up out of there. She was not playing when this came out. So we're gonna see. You wanna do that? Or you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She seemed like she was.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2 and 9. In like manner, also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
You know what adore means, or to adore yourself? So, somebody said it. You're cheating. No, I'm joking. All right, go ahead. You said what?
To show certain faith, close attention.
Right, exactly. But also to feel beautiful and to love yourself and actually to adore yourself, you're loving yourself and feeling beautiful within. Go ahead. It says in modest apparel. Now keep going.
With shamefacedness and sobriety.
So shamefacedness, that's going into the delicateness that we talked about. Not just being humble in a sense. Right? Not being all up in every face, not being loud and just abroad and just obnoxious and all that. So my best friend on the back of the bus. It's too early for that. Please be quiet. I just woke up. You were screaming best friend. So you didn't even get on the bus yet. You yelled it out the window. You just woke up 5 niggas. Yeah, virus. Yeah, you got the virus there for lottery tickets. It's crazy. So with that being said, he said adore themselves in modest apparel. Right, man? Well, I'm gonna show you. Because like I said, beauty is crazy. But we told you that beauty starts where? Within. But it's also showcased outwardly. Now,
Not with braided hair or gold or pearls
you got pearls on your hand, you know what I'm saying? You got pretty,
or costly array.
right? Just because you got the new tote bag, just because you got the Lululemon joint, yeah. Just because you got all that, you got new what should it be? You got Rihanna's new Fendi line and all that. Yeah, that 50 is 50 or Fendi? We gonna argue about
I
that.
don't know. It's Fenty.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Got daughters. I got daughters.
You got daughters. I'm gonna say the Fenty because I'm not.
No, it's Fenty.
I'm not.
It's European.
I'm not confident. I don't believe y'all. But with that, it's not saying that you can't have that. It's not saying you should take off your pearls, throw them across the street. It's not saying that. But your beauty should start with the modesty. Modesty, of course, is within, right? Being shamefaced, right? Sober-minded, right? Having a submissive-based spirit, right? Loving the Most High, catering to the Most High. That's what starts, right? Go ahead.
But which becometh woman professing godliness.
What?
Professing
So
godliness
professing godliness and what?
with good works.
With good works as well. So you saying like, yo, pork easy. You saying that crap, and I can get rid of it. I'm not addicted to it. That's professing godliness with good works, right? Because it's not just the faith aspect of believing in the Most High. That's where it starts. Faith. You gotta have faith in something before you just do it. Not like, I don't know. Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. I coughed a little bit.
What
But
was
hey,
that?
Hey, he gonna get us right there. Woo! Yeah. Hey, man. Leave it alone. Hey, my bad. So look. Chill, bro. You making me laugh. You making me laugh.
Oh,
Oh, dang, that was crazy. That threw me off, girl. I'm keeping it stack. You caught it? Dang.
whoa.
We sorry. Man. But professing godliness, that's what starts it, right? So now, when it talks about modest apparel, you know what modest apparel looks like? What does it look like?
Not where my generation be wearing these days.
Okay,
Not
okay.
half dress.
Yeah, facts.
It's not your booty out.
Yeah.
It's not showing all
Yeah,
of
showing
this.
all your, yeah, you know what I
Like
mean?
all of this is covered up.
Exactly, covered up and all that. Now, yeah, they all Ethiopian, you can tell. Yeah, you can tell. I ain't gonna come at you, but we can tell just by looking. What? Bro, that wasn't crazy. You can tell. Come on, bro. But ain't that crazy? Like, you know who's your people and who's not. Like, come on, hell, you know. But, you got Deuteronomy 22? Alright. So I'm gonna show you another aspect, and that's a fact. You can't be out here with your, what's the Johns called? The little mini skirt Johns. Yeah, they look mad, bro. That's
They
nasty.
call, but I know what you're talking
Yeah, you
about.
said bubble skirts and all that. That's dirty, yo. Nobody trying to see all that for real. And then it's like when a man does see that, they already know what they want. They're not trying. They don't care about your favorite color. Your favorite color. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, you over here you're like, oh, you know my favorite color. You're like, yeah, flamingo. You don't care about your favorite color. You just trying to do something, right? As a favorite, what's your favorite food? Toyota. He's not listening. Yeah, he's not listening. He know what he wants. Turn this down. Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 22 and 5.
Go ahead.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man,
Right.
neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Right.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
Now it said a man shall not put on a woman's garment. You agree with
I've
that?
heard this verse before.
Yeah. Now keep it a stack. I ain't putting out. If you see any brother out here with a skirt or a dress on, you want to take us serious for real?
A tutu.
I'm not taking nobody serious. They got a tutu on. They got a thing. What's the
Pencil
joint?
skirt.
A romper. They don't got no joint like that.
Fishnet.
Pencil skirt is crazy. Yeah, we out here some fishnets and all that. You're not taking us serious. Like what the hell? Like y'all got going on? This is freaky as hell. It's freaky. Whole bunch of freak boys up here. Just that's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's crazy. Then they all, I ain't gonna say that. That's just nasty. You gonna leave it at that. You're not gonna, it's not gonna be no respect. You might gonna be like, yeah, okay. But you said you heard it before. Now, what you thought about when you heard that?
So the backstory between why I heard that is because my dad. So when I was younger, my dad always left at night.
Okay.
Oh,
He always called me in his room, be like, "Okay, listen." And so it's like hours go by, and I'm just listening. But at some point, of course, I'm gonna stop listening.
Yeah, you gonna zone out. Listen, my dad called me right now at 12 o'clock in the morning. I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock. I might zone out too. I ain't gonna lie. I might fall asleep. I ain't gonna lie. I've done that before. Not specific on him, but I fell asleep on people.
You gonna listen?
I ain't gonna. It's not that I'm not like into the conversation. I'm sleepy. Like I told you about 3 times. That's my warning right there. I might check. But you said that's what he told you.
Especially when he like talks about something that he's already talked about before, you already heard it before, you be like, all right, I already know this already.
Yeah. Hey, but I ain't gonna lie, it's a method that they do that. They try to instill it to where you don't forget it. That's really wild. But yeah, I know you was like, yo, Dad, hold on. It's like the 8th time already. It's like 11:30. I got school tomorrow. You're tweeting. I got class. Yeah, I know. I was feeling like that. Every time my mom like, yo, you need
You gotta check that time. You gotta, every child is.
But that's a fact though. But now listen. And prior it said the woman shall not wear that which pertained to a man. So what would be the counterpart of that clothing as far as dresses and skirts? Right?
Especially boxers.
Okay.
Women be wearing that nowadays.
They be wearing it as booty shorts and all that.
Exactly.
I'm like,
that's
yo,
not
what
cute.
you
That's not
doing?
cute. Put some pants on.
The PSDs on the ethicals, like
Right. Then you got some women that go in men's clothing stores and buy men's shorts, men's shirts.
right.
You can go to men's clothing store.
Now, what about the actual aspect of pants in general? Are pants modest? Not really. Now, did you know that pants actually started during the time of the war when the men had to go out to the battle and the women took over the factories and stuff like that? That's where it started to become a familiar practice. When you went to our people, because you can actually look into our. What was we talking about? All right.
All right. Yeah.
We was just talking about it. Anyways, neither here nor there. Yeah, bro. I can't turn to you no more. You're unreliable. You're terrible. Yeah, nah. So boom. So with that being said, right? Just in an example, but the idea of pants and things of that nature came from the so-called white women. You saw like Rose in the River, where like, the little muscles she was trying to flex and all that. They really photoshopped to make it a little bit bigger. It wasn't that big. But that's where that came from. You know what I'm saying? Now you can actually tap into our culture, even when you look at American slavery history and things of that nature, and with the so-called Native Americans and stuff like that, because those are people as well. Can you find any slave picture of any of these people? The so-called African American, any slave picture of the Native Americans, etc., wearing pants of the women? You have not seen, even when it starts to progress in the time period, such as like with like Harriet Tubman, so to speak, even Rosa Parks era and stuff like that. What were the women wearing? Right. You didn't just see this Rosa Parks and all that. What?
World War II.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, that's Rosa Parks. That's the 50s. 50s.
Right.
Start wearing pants.
So the societal norm and even the cultural norm with our people was for our women dresses and skirts and things of that nature. For the men to actually have pants and gird up their loins and things of that nature. It wasn't out here, sagging to where their knees are. That's crazy. That's wild. Just to show off their ethical. Brother, we don't care about all that. It's just I don't care if you got ethical, the PhDs, Fruit of the Looms. I don't care. Haynes, do what you do, bro. I ain't trying to see all that. Because at the end of the day, we keep it a stack. We don't look for it. I'm not looking at your butt. I ain't doing that. I ain't looking at your body. I'm not.
So why do they do that?
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, another man gonna look at that. I ain't looking at that. But another man, he might like that. So it's like, if that's not what you're trying to attract, what you know what I'm saying? Why is you showing that? You marketing yourself, right? So now that's an aspect. Now what about that? What your father was telling you, like dresses, skirts, and all that. Is that doable? We're not telling you to go today and just be like, yeah, F all this and kick down your closet.
It's doable
We're
with
not
dresses, but I've always, for some reason, I did not like wearing skirts. But I've been trying to
Hey,
put
listen.
them into my wardrobe. Like I own skirts.
I'm stuck mad for my mama. So listen. So like, hey, I'm gonna keep it a stack. All right, man. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Like, our people know how to put it on.
That's
Our people
right.
know how to put it on. Keep it a stack. Like these sisters over here is a fire example. You know what I'm saying? The sisters over here is a fire example of putting it on. I can't pinpoint out one sister that's within this joint that don't put it on.
Right.
They all be popping out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some households, they be having matching fits and all that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. Be coming out with just matching fits, Jordans and all, just matching and all that.
Right.
Fringes, colors, matching and all
That's
that.
right.
You got a brother, his mom dudes pop out with the
Dunks.
hate joint with the dunks and all that. They be snapping out here, yo. They be snapping. You got certain brothers. We don't get born out here. You see the fool. You see the fool. You see the gold. Yeah, you see the gold. You see the brother with the, yeah, you know what I mean?
You know, I had a little something slight.
Got the OG plays on them. Hey, brother, really be stepping. What's under that? Oh, look. Hey, look, she got a skirt on. She got a skirt with the top. Look, that's like, those are the type of boys right there. I'm like, yo, what size is that? That's the type of boy. You trying to grab
That's on
them.
the fall to
But
me.
nah.
Women's live
They
to
can put
took
it on.
over. Destroy
So
it.
I'm led to believe, since You got that joint in the back. If you get comfortable with it, it sounds like it ain't saying like, oh yeah, you have to wear it. You can stay with dresses if that's what your, that's what your vibe is. But hey, I'm telling you, there's diversity in the joint. You ain't gotta look like Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and all that. You ain't gotta look like you just came out. You know? You gotta look like that. Pop out. You know, put a little yeah on. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got one more for you, and that's it. Acts 17 to 30. Now I'm gonna get my clothes. Let me get First Maccabees 2 instead of verse 6.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 30.
Right?
And the times of this ignorance.
So in times that we didn't know that we were Israelites before. We didn't know that we couldn't eat pork before. We didn't know that Christ didn't look like this. We didn't know these different things. We didn't know we couldn't eat crab and all that. We didn't know this. We didn't know it through the Bible. We probably heard of it and things like that. We didn't know that that's what God actually wanted. Go ahead.
And in times of this ignorance, God winked at. God winked at.
But he winks at your ignorance. Why?
But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
He's calling you now over to repentance. Right? Every brother, we had to change whole lifestyles out here. Sisters out here had to change whole lifestyles. You know what I'm saying? Whole lifestyle change. When you come to serve the Lord, it's a lifestyle change. Right? How do you think that felt with Paul and stuff like that? He was out there persecuting the church. Had a whole lifestyle change. Right? He had to switch over, and now he over here evangelizing, going, city to city. It's the same. It's a life change. Some things that you like doing, you gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? If it pleases the Most High. Things that you was like, man, I can't never do. Sometimes you may have to do now that the Most High said, hey, look, this is what pleases you. That shows the difference between actually loving the Most High and just knowing of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Now it said, read that again.
In the times of this ignorance, God winked at.
Right?
But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Now keep going.
Verse 31. Because he hath appointed a day,
Right?
in the which he will judge the world.
So if he didn't set a certain boundaries and a certain criteria to meet, why would he be judging the world? Because when people be like, oh, sin or just doing bad, that's objective, right? Like you can choose what's bad to you or what's bad to somebody else. People can have opinions. The Most High, he's very direct. Go ahead.
In righteousness,
Right?
by that man whom he hath ordained.
Right?
Wherefore he hath given assurance unto all men.
Right?
And that he hath raised him from the dead.
Right? Because that's the purpose of why he even brought Christ to us, right? To give us that grace to repent. Just like with grace, you get a grace period to pay something wrong. I mean, you don't pay it. You still got to pay it, but now you have time. Same thing with Christ coming on the earth. That grace that Christ gave was to get back right. You can't just go, oh, Christ gave me grace and I'm just do works. No, it's crazy, right? But that's it. You have anybody have any other? Wait, did you grab a flyer already? Anybody got a flyer on? Oh, see that flyer? Oh, no, y'all over here battling. Right, so look, we have our Instagram on there. You can contact us on the Instagram, WFI Atlanta. And like I said, we out here. So if you ever want to come out here and stuff like that, grab a seat. We'll have chairs set up for you and all that. Alright? What was your name? Illyria? Hey, Sister Illyria, man. All praise to the Most High. You have a beautiful night, alright? All praise to the Most High. Sister Illyria, man. Fire!
That's why I kind of like sad.
Fire! Let me get some right 36. Oh,
Oh, great.
All praise to the Most High, man. God, that's heavy. It'll be 7 to 11.
Press dress on deck, man, for the sister.
This is the book of Second.
First.
This is the book of First Maccabees.
Start at verse 61.
This is the book of First Maccabees 2 and 61. Right? And thus consider ye throughout all ages,
Right?
that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
So any from all ages, any that put their trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, they will not be overcome.
That's
Right?
right.
Paid upon tables, right? Go ahead.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
It said what?
Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Right?
For his glory shall be dung and worms.
That's why brothers up here, we're not fearful men up here.
Right.
They try to come up with all these different riots and all these different protests, and police want to come up and order us this, that. We not worried about them.
That's
That
right.
doesn't strike fear in our hearts. Coming up here with threats doesn't strike fear in our hearts.
That's
You over
right.
here telling, oh, don't touch such and such. We're not listening to idle threats. We don't care for them. Even if they're direct threats, we don't care for them.
That's right.
The Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. Keep going.
Today ye shall be lifted up,
He said, today that simple man might be lifted up, but what?
and tomorrow he shall not be found.
They said, but tomorrow he shall not be found. It's a closed case. You're not looking for him no more. He going. He out of there. Go ahead.
Because he is returned into his dust.
The Most High put him back 6 feet under. He put him 6 feet under. The Lord said, hey, this simple man, by all these other nations and things of that nature, chiefly the so-called white men, they're sitting up, lifted up high. But there's gonna be a time period where you're not even gonna see him again. Right? Go ahead.
And his thought is come to nothing.
And that thought of, we're gonna make our names known in these lands, it's gonna come to naught. Go ahead.
Wherefore, ye my sons,
Right?
be valiant.
It said what?
Be valiant,
Go ahead.
and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
Right?
For by it shall ye obtain glory.
It said for by what?
For by it ye shall obtain glory.
Bring this up. Verse 7.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36, and verse 7.
Right?
Raise up indignation.
Say what?
Raise up indignation. And pour out wrath.
Right?
Take away the adversary.
Say what?
Take away the adversary.
Go ahead.
And destroy the enemy.
Right now, say it.
And destroy the enemy.
Go ahead.
Make the time short.
Right?
Remember the covenant. And let them declare thy wonderful works.
Right? So we're asking that the Most High shorten the time and righteousness. Right? A lot of us don't really want to be here for 15 more years and 20 more years. We trying to get our stuff right, and so we can get up out of here expeditiously. Go ahead.
Let him that escapeth be consumed by rage of the fire.
Right?
And let them perish that oppress the people.
Because our people want to save those that oppress the people. We're not asking for salvation to them, man. Right? Shalom, King. Right? We're not asking for that. Right? We asking that they perish that oppress the poor. He said, you think you're going to run? You're going to flee? The Lord he got heat seekers on that thing. On them missiles, he got heat seekers. He's not missing. Them arrows that you shoot from a strong archer, he's not missing. As it says in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Bring this up.
Smite and sunder the heads of the rulers of the heathen.
Go ahead.
That say, there is none other but we.
And Esau says, that's the most. Go ahead.
Gather all the tribes of Jacob together.
Say what?
Gather all the tribes of Jacob together.
What are we doing?
Gather all the tribes of Jacob
Go
together.
ahead.
And inherit thou them as from the beginning.
As from the beginning, with that, we give a strong call of law to Yahweh. By Shema Mashak, Wamalak Yahweh, Kum Yashua.
Kum Yashua.
Kum Yashua.
Kum Yashua.
Kum Yashua.
Kum Yashua.
I'm about to say, get it. Come get it. You scared.